Brodie Brazil with the Hall of Famer Dan Rusanowsky here on trade deadline day. The final hour has passed, and in the end, Dan, the Sharks made just as many trades as they awarded contract extensions. That's kind of an indication of where this franchise is at right now, don't you think?
I think it is true, and I think it's also a big vote of confidence for the guys that are in that dressing room, a big celebration for the players that got the contracts.
Right.
Alex Nedeljkovic, a 2-year extension announced today, and yesterday, what a contract haul for
Kiefer Sherwood.
Yeah. 5 years. And remember, this is a guy that was in the American Hockey League just a couple of years
Undrafted.
ago. Undrafted.
Yep.
Out of Miami University in Ohio. I have to tell you that he's been just a great addition to this team. I think they fit to the culture perfectly. Nedeljkovic, a perfect partner. So the Sharks did that, and there have been some rumors as to who they might have talked about, but that really doesn't matter anymore. The thing is that the Sharks also kept Mario Ferraro, which is a good sign for the future, and he's somebody that really loves to be part of this equation and kind of represents the history of the whole building process. So I think that's a big deal. But, you take a look at the trades that were made. Tim Liljegren going to Washington for a 4th-round draft pick. We really appreciated his time here in San Jose. He's somebody that will help Washington. And you know what? They needed a right-handed shooting defenseman with an offensive flair because they moved John Carlson to Anaheim in a pretty big deal. And so that was an opportunity for him. And then another deal in which Jet Wu was acquired from Vancouver. He's going to play for the San Jose Barracuda. And Jack Thompson going the other way. And he'll get an NHL opportunity.
We like Jack, too.
I like him very much. He's a guy that makes good decisions defensively, and he'll help the Vancouver organization.
And going back to what you said about the vote of confidence, I really think that's important for this San Jose team. They just won 3 in a row, and coming out of the break, the first game, we'll forget about that one, but what they've done is, I think, send a message that they do want to make this push and that they are in it no matter what the odds are for them, against them to make the postseason. It's a nice award and reward from Mike Greer, who basically said after last year's deadline, we're done being the sellers, and I think the proof is in the pudding.
Well, you know what else it is, Brodie? It's also a challenge to the guys in the dressing room. They have to say, okay, we have confidence in you, now go do it. And what they've been doing in this 3-game winning streak is basically recovering from the 5-game winless streak that they had, including that Calgary game that you don't want to mention. What really is the story there is the Sharks are playing faster. And they're not necessarily playing faster because of the power in their skates or the edges that they have.
They're not different people.
No. They're playing faster because they are thinking within the structure that Ryan Warsofsky wants them to play. They're totally bought into that. They know where the puck is going before they get it. And so, as another coach told me once, the puck is a lot faster than any skater out there. And I think that's one of the ways that the Sharks kind of combine their physical skills with their ability to make plays. And, of course, they have Macklin Celebrini, too, and that doesn't hurt.
Was that a Todd McClellan quote?
I believe it is.
Hey, look at that. See, we've been around long enough to know. 2 more things. I think it's important that the Sharks kept players in Nedeljkovic and retained them with the extensions, and also Kiefer Sherwood, players that they didn't necessarily have before. Now, Ned was an acquisition, a trade from last offseason, so now they have 2 offensive-minded, puck-moving goaltenders, active goaltenders that want to be almost part of the blue line in moving pucks up the ice, but also Kiefer Sherwood. I don't think the Sharks had somebody on the roster like him. He's a different style and flavor of player, so I just like the fact that the Sharks were able to go out and get what they wanted and then hang on to what they want.
They want guys that are big and fast and nasty and difficult to play against, because it's going to be tough when you get to the playoffs, whether it's this year or whether it's in subsequent years. You're going to have to go against teams throughout this division and throughout this conference that play exactly that way. And so I think it's a good plan. It certainly makes the Sharks a stronger hockey team. And certainly for the fans that come to SAP Center, and they're packing them in these days, they're having an exciting brand of hockey to check out.
Final thing, neither you nor I are here to make playoff predictions, as in, will this team get there? But what do the odds look like down the stretch? And now we know what this team is going to look like. We know there weren't any huge additions like from the outside minus Sherwood, but that was back in January now. So we know this team. We know what's set. We know what all the other teams look like set. It's a really tough grind. It's a really uphill battle for every team, including the Sharks, but they're going to try. So I don't know what their odds are, but we know that they're poised to make this run.
Well, they're only a couple of points out of that last playoff spot, and also they're tied with a bunch of teams. LA and Nashville have the same number of points, but
games in hand.
Games in hand, that's right. The Sharks have played fewer games. And we all know what the traditional reply about the games in hand is.
Got to win them.
Got to win them. And that does put a little
Yeah.
pressure because that means the schedule's a little bit tighter. But
Yeah.
the schedule for the Sharks looks to be pretty favorable. I think they've played some of their toughest series of games. There's this
Yeah.
big road trip coming up after
right.
this homestand, a couple of them like that.
Yep.
But I really think that the opponents that they have present them with an opportunity to excel. And if they do excel, they could really make that step forward and make the playoffs. And if they get into the playoffs, Brodie,
Yeah.
I think they're going to be a really tough out. In fact, they could provide some theatrics for the fans. So you never know. I mean, we're looking at 1994 again. You never know what could happen. But I'll tell you this. This has been a big step forward. If I were to talk to you at the beginning of the season, and you may remember a conversation, I said the goal for the year was to take a significant step forward and let the chips fall where they may as far as playoffs go.
We're halfway
And
there
we're-
on your statement there, yeah.
At the deadline,
Yeah.
the Sharks are not in a playoff spot,
Yeah.
but they're in the conversation
close.
for sure.
Yep.
They have the games in hand.
Yep.
And this is going to be a great stretch drive to the finish. And we haven't had anything like this in quite some time, as we all know.
Congratulations on surviving your 35th NHL trade deadline here with the Sharks.
Well, thank you.